I'm Lydia, welcome to the Supper Club, and I'm excited to bring you the first fall version of the prep school. So we're going to get started with our fall edition, and we're going to talk about the fall colors. As we transition from summer to fall, a lot of times I'll just stick with the colors, and even though it goes with a theme, it's not so themey. So I want to take you on the first tour of the tables. It will be the color orange. So for the beginning of this season, going from summer to fall, I love to start with this shade of pink. It's sort of a coral, almost orange. And as we ease into the season, I chose that for this table setting. So you'll see a lot of glass, and you'll see a lot of this shade of orangey pink. And I love it. It coordinates really well with the blues and the browns of the season. And then I'm also incorporating these antique Staffordshire dogs, which I love that dark rust color. It's a little bit orange, but it also starts changing into those fall colors. So one thing I want to share with you guys that my mom always made sure she taught me was that before you start the party and you have candles, you should always extinguish them, light them and extinguish them so that the wicks are not white. And it just sort of makes it feel like a little bit cozier, a little homier, and then you don't look like you just got home from the store and added them to the table. Just a little character. Okay guys, we're gonna start with our very first table setting. I picked this tablecloth from Just Darvany, and she is a wonderful resource for you guys if you want to take a look at her. Her site, she has a lot of different prints that I think you guys would like. And like I mentioned, I wanted to really highlight the colors in this Staffordshire dog. And so this is one of the newer versions, but I really love being able to also include the little antique ones. And I always kind of rescue the ones that are lost, the singles that are lost that I find in those vintage stores. So I often will have more than one, or I'll have just one out of a pair, which I don't mind, and I think they make for really pretty table settings and for collections. So onto the plates, I used my basic white china with the gold rim. I love this. This is what I registered for when we got married and have used it obviously forever. And I wanted to add in the shade of pink, which is like a coral pink, to play off the orange. And then I'm adding more glass in with this from Estelle colored glass. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see it. This is one of their coupes, or coupe, whichever you like to say. And that way it is all working well and playing well together on the table. And then I also put in a glass candlestick in the same shade of that pink or orange, and then I added in a blue and white candle. So this is Kim Siebert, and the candles are from the Fab Foo in Raleigh, North Carolina. And then also to keep going with the glass and add in the blue, I did another vase with just white flowers. It's the same Kim Siebert collection that has the candlesticks. You'll notice I did them in blue as well, and I did mix the pinks and the blues to create that orangey coral feeling. And then the flowers, these are called butterfly ranunculus, and they are just kind of dainty versions of the bigger ranunculus that everyone loves so much. Let's go over to the napkins. We have the khaki colored napkin. It is linen, which is fine, even though that's more of a summer fabric. I still love it. I love it. I use it all the time. And then I use the gold silverware so that it plays off of this gold, and I think that it also has like a great warmth to it. So that is how I built this table and incorporated the oranges that are coming for the fall, and incorporated collections from my own home, as well as new pieces and vintage pieces. And just for the record, these are vintage glass. A lot of it is depression glass, and I find them at vintage stores and antique stores. So our next table is going to continue our orange theme. This time I'm using a gingham fabric, so it's a little more casual, a little more playful. and I'm doing a lot of color. Even though it's fall, I still love to use the little bit of bright pinks just to play off that orange. I think it looks really good together. So here I did my own flower arrangement using chicken wire for the base, and then I used a vintage container. It's a beautiful bowl and plate. Always put a plate under a vintage container because you never know if it really holds water, so make sure that you have something under it or test it before. So anyway, Full of Water has lots of different varieties, all from Trader Joe's. And so again, these are butterfly ranunculus, which I just like how they kind of look like they're flittering. So that's a great way to add in a little bit of that negative space up here. It's not all just one perfect arrangement. I do like having my arrangements look a little organic. So let's take this from here. I'm going to show you the overheads, but I do want to show you before I start with the overhead, I want to show you these napkins with a creative way to use a napkin ring. This is especially good if it's a birthday and you want to give something as a gift to someone, or if you have like a small party and you want to do these for a party favor. These little ties, these little bows are scarves, and they're made by a girl named Wells, and her company is Swells. She graduated from University of Georgia, and I just love the things that she makes. She started her own company, all with scarves, and this one is a cute little twilly. So I wanted to show you that so that you can know to be creative with your napkin rings, and you don't have to always stick with the basics. Let's talk tabletop with our gingham orange and white tablecloth. Again, so I started with the gold, and I use this all the time and mix in other pieces with it. On this table, I'm showing you two different versions. Here I put a little antique teacup, like cup and saucer, and the reason that I did that is because on these scarves, there's a teacup that was designed into it. So I just love how it plays off of that. And if you look closely, you'll see like knives, forks, and spoons, and napkins. So the whole twilly scarf is meant to be a gift as well as part of the place setting. So I love getting creative, especially like I said, for a birthday person or if it's a small party. You may not want to gift everybody, but if you do, it's a great way to gift. And I'm continuing to use the gold utensils, but this time I'm adding in this bright blue and then the color green on the glasses. This kind of makes it more youthful and playful and kind of fun to have. So let me take this off. So here you're going to see I used a vintage green and white for the salad plate. That is from Parker Kennedy Living. It is one of those that was just a great find. So you may not be able to find exactly, but just keep in mind that you can use your own finds or the things you already have. So here, if you don't want to do a teacup and saucer, you could just do a cute little dessert. I did a cupcake with a fun topper on top, but I do like having something to finish off the top of the plate stack. And again, I did the flowers here that are just all the colors that are really in this. This was my whole inspiration, really. So let me grab this one. I think they look so good when they're together. So that is where all of the flower colors came from, was from this. And I tied it around a white linen napkin because I wanted to show off the the print on that scarf. So if you do trade it out and you want to do, hopefully I don't knock over anything, and that's what it looks like. And you could even do, flowers in the tiny teacups if you wanted to do a different version. But it's always kind of fun to sit down at the table and have a little treat waiting for you, and they can place it off to the side. Even though it's a bread plate, I don't think anybody will mind having a cupcake instead of bread. So just for fun, but different ways that you can use the colors of fall in a playful way. It's a little bit like a picnic style, bright and cheery, but still fun and fallish. Okay, enjoy. Now for our next table, I'm still using orange, and this time it's an Amanda Lindroth from Lindroth Designs, and it's one of those printed fabrics that has great colors in it and a great vine going, and doesn't scream fall, but I also just love how deep the orange is, and you can put in the other colors that bring in the other fall colors to make it all go. So I use that same plate pattern that's from Parker Kennedy Living. I love how easy it is to have the green on it. I love how it continues that vine feel, and it's not like overpowering because this is such a busy fabric. I wanted to keep this a little calmer. So for flowers, I wanted to show you guys how to think outside of the box a little bit. Here in the centerpiece, I put cookies that have been decorated like baskets of flowers. These are from one of my Supper Club members, Lauren Jacobs of The Cheerful Baker. And as you can see, she put an initial, so L for Lydia. So that way they're personalized, but yet they're very subtle. And they make a great centerpiece, so they double as a dessert or a party favor. They could be a place card, or they can just be your pretty centerpiece that you take home as a party favor after the meal. And for the napkins, I added in this goldish yellow color. Really, it's playing off that yellow in there, and I like how it just brings in the fall colors of gold, green, and orange. I'm keeping the glasses pretty simple. I did a clear glass because that's the water, and then this is the wine glass. I did the green stem again, and just so you remember, you have water first, and wine goes to the side of it, to the right of it. And if you want, you can remember it's alphabetical, W-A, W-I, that's one way, and another way to remember it is turn water into wine. So people always ask me that, like, how do I know where to put my glasses? And one other last little bit is I added in some texture here with this napkin ring. It's just a braided raffia, basically. And I believe that came from Draper James a long time ago. So I would again use the same gold. I really love gold in the fall. I guess because everything feels golden when it's glowing. The yellow leaves on the trees. And then I would add that in. I would do the same on the other side. And you have a table that's different and ready to go. All right, you guys, for this next tabletop, I'm gonna do a little bit of a picnic vibe. And I wanna show you how simple it is to create your own arrangement. These are all from Trader Joe's. I literally just picked flowers that were in those colors. And then I'm going to use a white vase because it's such a busy tablecloth pattern. So with all the stripes, you definitely want to keep your vase simple. So I'm going to use the white, and then I'm not going to arrange it for you right now because I know you guys know how to arrange a flower arrangement, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of how to make it work when you have such a really busy tablecloth. So the next thing I want to show you is how to make it something that's really different. I love using these wooden boards. They come in different sizes. This one's pretty long, so it would be mostly, this would be like a table for two. And I just put the napkin here because when the person sits down, they'll obviously take it and put it in their lap, and it will go off, you know, it won't be there anymore. And then this is where you would actually serve all of the food. And in my head, I'm picturing sandwiches and salads and things like that can be easily placed either directly on top, or they can be put on a plate. You could even do this outside and use non-breakable items like either paper or melamine, different things like that. So again, I added in this gold, and I kept the setting really simple with just one fork, and the knife and the spoon off to the side, and then dessert, I put it up here. And that way you can kind of serve your guests in a way that's really different and fun and unique, but you can also make it pretty and make it different and very memorable. So these blue, let me just tell you really quickly about these blue napkins. They are great. They are from Hen House Linens. They come in lots of different colors, and they have this ruffle that just always looks really good and kind of polished, but they wash well, and they don't need ironing. I steam them occasionally just to get some of the fluff out, but otherwise they're really pretty self-sufficient. They take care of themselves pretty well. For glasses, I would use tumblers, and I would do something really simple. And if you do want to add in, you know, something playful and fun, you can always put in something like that. I love serving salads and little fruit salads or pasta salads or just veggie salads, whatever you want, in these tiny cups. You can get a variety of colors. These are from Susan Brown at For Pete's Sake Pottery, and they come in so many different colors. And I know people think that they're called, I think they're called sherbet bowls. They're for ice cream, but I use them for everything. And I like how they have the pattern on the outside and then the solid on the inside. So it kind of makes it all flow really well. And that would be a great, easy, simple picnic. So cheers to all the orange, and we'll go to the next color coming up, and I'll see you there.